Welcome back to Digital Wandering, and I have my iBook clamshell here, which I've shown on the channel multiple times. This is my oldest computer. Now, I'm not a legacy user with this. I got this used a couple years ago, but it's the oldest computer that I have as far as release date. And now you see it has a blinking folder because I wiped the internal drive. That blinking folder icon here is letting you know that this drive, the internal drive of this machine, is empty. And I did that because I ran into some problems that I just want to talk about a little bit and what I'm going to do to try to get it fixed. About a week ago, I added about 4 new applications to this machine. And before I added those applications, just so happens a couple of days prior to that, I read a thread. I think it was on Mac Rumors, and one of the respondents talked about with Mac OS 9, sometimes you can add an application that's defective or is corrupted in some way, and that dysfunctional nature of the app can spread throughout the entire system and bring the entire system down. That hadn't happened to me up to that point, but I filed it away. And, just so happens a couple days later, I added these additional applications and it brings down my entire system. I tried to troubleshoot it. This is a 20-year-old system, so there's a lot of documentation online, but a lot of it is not recent and some of it wasn't relevant to my problem exactly. So I was trying a lot of different things to troubleshoot, but I kept running into additional problems. So right now I wiped the drive and I moved everything onto this flash drive here. And actually, let me see what happens if I plug this flash drive in. I don't think there will be any type of response from the system. Yeah, it's not going to respond in any way. And actually, let's see. All right, so we're going to try this, restarting it, and see what happens. Okay, so yes, I would have to actually do some commands here in order to get back into the system, which I do not know at this time. So let's just turn this back off. Yes, this is a boot screen, and I'm not really sure what commands to do. Let's see if we can try to go on what it says here. Yeah, it's not recognizing. Yeah, I would have to I think I know what commands. I've tried it before. This is the first time I tried to restart the device after moving everything onto that flash drive. But yeah, I would have to enter commands so that it would boot off the flash drive as opposed to trying to boot off the internal drive. So yeah, that's not going to work here. All right, so let's see. Oh, there it is. It actually is booting off the flash drive now. I'm not sure what I did differently there other than restarting it. So it's now actually booting off the flash drive. Okay. And if we opened up the internal drive here, you'll see that it's empty. But I have the system folder over here now. And for what it's worth, very little actually works right now. So only simple things like I can open up the calculator. Now, one thing that's interesting about this old internal drive, which is like 20 years old or 21 years old, I did some internal tests using some of the tools in macOS 9, and it actually came back as, at least from that scan, that the internal drive is in okay shape. And all the tests on the drive itself came back fine. Uh, the only issue that I'm thinking is software, and since I cannot figure out how to fix it, it's like a done deal for me right now. One of the problems here, and one thing is, there's normally going to be what is it called here? A control strip at the bottom, which has a lot of fast, quick actions that you can do. Like you can adjust the volume, you can make adjustments on the display, and it's a strip that's normally here by default. That is, when the system went down, that was disabled. I can't do anything with media on here with any of the tools that I have. The main media player here on this system is QuickTime, and when the system went down, that was knocked out. So QuickTime is not just for video at this point. I also was using QuickTime on this machine for viewing photos, and I think also to a certain extent audio, any type of music. So when that went down, I really can't use this for media anymore. And I couldn't browse the internet because I couldn't open up any of the browsers. So the system is barely functional at this point. So basically all I could do is what you see here, is get to the desktop and do some minor things like calculator. I think the text edits, so I could do like text, simple text documents, simple documents, but I couldn't do anything major. Like Apple Works wasn't working any longer. That's the main word processing software that was available at this time and for this system. So yeah, it was so much that wasn't functional anymore that I had to go the nuclear option and wiping out the internal drive. So we're going to see how this works. So hopefully within a very short period of time, I will have an installation disk so that I can try to reinstall a operating system onto the internal drive here. Now I have some decisions to make. Will I go back to macOS 9? I wanted to keep this machine on macOS 9 because macOS 9 is the last version of the classic operating system, and I wanted to have at least one machine in my collection that could run macOS 9. But I also have the opportunity to put early versions of macOS 10 on here as well. So maybe something like 10.2 Jaguar or 10.3 Panther. I haven't tried those yet, so that's also an option. So hopefully within a short period of time, I'll have some new operating system running on this internally as opposed to off the flash drive. I'm not sure why it didn't boot the first time off the flash drive, but it did for the second restart. So, but even though it is getting to the desktop, it's not really functional. I can't do much with this here as it is. So, hopefully we'll have an update soon with everything worked out. But this is Digital Wandering signing off.